Hello everybody, welcome back to Golf Cart Garage, another episode where we're going to talk about some golf cart issues and see if we can solve some people's problems or maybe help them, maybe steer you in the right direction to getting your golf cart fixed. We come here every Tuesday and Thursday at 12 noon Central Time. This is December the 7th as 12 noon Central Time, so if you're watching us on December the 7th, which is Thursday, at 12 noon Central Time, you're watching us live. We are live right now on Facebook and YouTube. Let me see here. Social media links. You can follow us on Facebook and YouTube, like I said, or you can follow us on Instagram and TikTok, or follow us on all platforms, whatever you would like. If you do follow us on Facebook and YouTube, please like and subscribe. That always helps. That helps keep this show going, or this episode's going. Helps me keep a job, too, because I do work for Golf Cart Garage, believe it or not. Got people showing up in the room already. Gene Hansen, 45 degrees in sunny Michigan. It's a very beautiful day here. It's getting to that weather here in central Arkansas where I get to wear my favorite outfit. My favorite outfit is a hoodie and shorts. That's my outfit. That's my favorite outfit to wear in the winter. And my legs don't get cold, so I wear shorts and a hoodie. My wife thinks I'm crazy for that being my favorite outfit. Stephen Coon, greetings from Bart, Florida. Sunny and 62. That's nice. Cooled off here in Florida. Kurt says, a little too cool for karting. Too chilly to go karting. Jerry Kelly. Hello, Jerry Kelly. Thank you for stopping by. 30. Jeffrey in the Poconos says, it's 30 degrees and snowing. 50 degrees by Sunday. You check Facebook. George Brimmer on Facebook. Hey, Tim from Sebastian, Florida. 69 degrees. Nice. Thank you for stopping by, George. Sir Walter. Remember Pearl Harbor. 50 and sunny in Raleigh. What's going on, Sir Walter? All right. We do have a cart to talk about today for the Let's See segment. So if you're in here, Kevin Rabette sent me some pictures. I appreciate it. I appreciate you telling me what you did, because you did something I wanted to get some follow-up info on. I wanted some data on someone that had well, I'm not going to spoil the surprise now, but I'm going to feature Kevin Rabette's cart. Jeffrey had a doctor's appointment on Tuesday. No problem, Jeffrey. I appreciate you coming whenever you can, man. Kevin, what's up? Kevin on Facebook. Sunny and 49 in Indiana. All right. We will get started with the regular questions. I'll try not to go long today like I did last time. I wasn't even looking at the clock last episode. Mike Irwin, hey y'all, 55 and sunny in southwestern Indiana. Thank you, Mike. Here's a first scheduled question. I have a 2017 club car. When I push the go pedal to the floor, 100% throttle, it will slow down. If I let off a bit, it picks up speed. Is there a throttle position sensor? What do I need to replace? That sounds like a classic sign of the M-core signal going out of range. What happens is as you push that accelerator pedal, it's actually twisting a rod in the M-core. The M-core is basically just a fancy variable resistor. So when you're pushing that accelerator pedal, it's twisting a rod in the M-core. As that rod twists, it sends a signal, ever increasing signal or ever decreasing signal, whatever the language the controller talks, it sends that signal to the controller as you push that accelerator pedal. But if that signal goes out of a certain range, that controller will shut down. So that's what it sounds like to me. Now, the easiest way to figure out if that's what's happening would be to get Club Car to get their special computer and plug into your car. Your car has a diagnostic port on it, and they can plug in and they can set it to M-core, and they can watch your M-core go 0 to 100%. And if it goes over 100%, that's what's going to be happening with your car. 55 in sunny Athens. That's about what I've got going on here today, Rock Dog. Beautiful day. Beautiful day. Probably 55, somewhere like that. Big Mike. Thank you for showing up, Big Mike. Daryl Kimbler on Facebook. Hey, Daryl, how's it going? Just checking in? No problem. Thank you for checking in. Lloyd Lou, 54, sunny in Central California. Thank you for stopping by, Lloyd. Number 2 on the regular questions here. This is from D. Conwell. He says, I upgraded from 36 to 48 volt, and the meter, stock China replacement, stays on full. I know it's hooked up right to the negative battery ground and common terminal to key switch. Do you think it could just be the meter? All new battery pack, motor, controller, solenoid. Well, what was your name there? D. Conwell. All right, D. Conwell. My first question was, did you get a new meter for 40? Is it a 48 volt meter? Because if it's a 36 volt meter and you upgraded to 48 volts, that would explain it staying on full all the time, because it's way too many volts. I mean, you didn't actually tell me, did you get a new meter in your description there? You said stock China replacement. Well, if you just got the stock replacement, then that's what the problem is. You need to get a 48 volt meter, or it's never going to read correctly. And as I've said in many episodes, I don't like those meters anyway. I don't think that any of them read correctly enough for me. But that's up to you. But you do have to change the meter to a 48 volt meter if you didn't do that already. Daryl Duty. Hey, Tim, checking in for the first time. This is Daryl Duty. What's up, Daryl Duty? Thank you for stopping by, sir. Daryl Duty. I bet you had, that's an unusual name. I bet you when you were a kid, if that is your real name, Daryl, I bet the kids had a field day with that one. Jeffrey says, I was watching during the week on YouTube how to test your golf cart motor. Had a lot of run toe switches. If they watch, it may be your members can understand the difference. What's on Facebook here? Just checking in there. Got you. We're still rolling on Facebook. Number 3 on the regular questions. This is from John T. Daryl says kids were ruthless. I learned to fight pretty good. Yeah, I guess so. I guess that is your real name. I mean, yeah, they were ruthless, I bet. John T. The cart will load up when on level land or downhill and backfires. Can you tell me adjustment to make? I have a new plug in it also. Well, you definitely, John T., you definitely have one of two things going on, or maybe even a combination of both. Your butterfly valve is not closing all the way when you let the accelerator pedal off, and gas is still continuing to flow. Okay, it could either be that the butterfly valve is not closing all the way, or the needle in the seat is not closing all the way, or idle screw. You believe it or not, I know a golf cart doesn't idle, but a gas golf cart actually or some gas golf carts actually have an idle screw. And if the screw is too tight, then the butterfly valve doesn't close all the way when you let off, and it continues to pump gas. And when you're going down a hill with your foot off, and as soon as you put your foot back on, pow, backfire. So that's most likely what it is. William Rizzo, cold this morning in the Villages, Florida. Well, that would be unusual, I would think. So button up, all you people in the Villages, Florida, because it's cold there. Apparently it's about 50 or something. Jeffrey says, what discharge brand tester do you recommend for shop use? If you have to do a lot of discharge testing, and if you're going to work on a lot of cars, they are worth the money. I mean, and mine is a Lester. That one is that's a Lester discharge tester for specifically for golf carts. It does 36 or 48 volt golf carts. It does both. Stephen Kuhn says he's going to try and experiment with one of my old carts that I bought for parts that still run, installing 6 12-volt batteries wired to 2 packs of 36 and see how it performs. How big are the 12s? I mean, how much, you talking about relatively the same amount of lead that you would be carrying around if it was just 6 6s, or no, it's 48 volt, 6 12s would be, yeah, see, what do I got in there? I've got 12 12s in there, but they're small. Yeah, that'd be, I do experiments like that all the time, or I did when I was running my shop. But yeah, that'd be cool to find out. You're going to have a lot more chance of having an imbalance issue, you know, with something like that. See, in my race car right now, I said I got 4 12s, all right, but it's wired for 48 volts. So I got 4 48 volt packs in there, in parallel. That's what I'm running in there. That was actually secret information I just revealed. I can't believe I just said that on the air, on the internet. There are secrets in drag racing. Ricky Smith, hey Tim, got a follow-up on a question I asked for a friend on Tuesday. He thinks it's a 91 E-Z-GO. He sent me a picture of the serial number. Manufacturer's code is, yeah, that is a 91. If the manufacturer's code, see the last 2 digits right there, that's the year on the E-Z-GO of the manufacturer code, not the 77. Now wait a minute. I think I had this question come up a while back at work at Golf Cart Garage with somebody, and there was a time, I believe, where they had switched that. You know, in general, it's the last 2 digits of the manufacturer's code. But I think way back, it may have been opposite. You may be onto something, Ricky. You might have to check into that, because I think I discovered that you could be right. It could be the back there, if that old, they did it backwards for some reason. So you might ought to check into that. You could be right there. It could be a 77. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm having a deja vu of some conversations I was having with some customers, and I was having to do some research about this very thing. And I think we discovered that at one point, the ending 2 digits of the serial number was doing it. Deep Cycle Group 27s, okay, and you're going to put 6 of those in there. Okay, I got you. Yeah, that'll be interesting, Stephen. Jeffrey says he knows he's going to get swamped with electrics this spring. Well, they are worth the money. They're worth to have it. You can give a customer, you know, you can charge a customer legitimately, charge them for the discharge test results, because what you have to do is, you know, in order to get a proper discharge minute reading is what you're after, is a number of minutes on the discharge tester. In order to get a proper reading, you're going to need to make sure the cart's fully charged before you begin. So in other words, the discharge test takes a long time, an accurate discharge test, because you have to fully charge the cart, all right? Then you have to discharge it you know, and get the minute number, but then you can't give it back to the customer like it is, because the batteries are at an unsafe voltage. So you actually need to fully charge the cart again. So a discharge test is not a quick thing, but the minute reading can be obtained from the test itself in 100 minutes or less. You know, it's going to be something like that. And during that test, you can even spot bad batteries. With your voltmeter just standing there, you can go through the pack and look at the battery, and you can watch the voltage on the discharge machine itself. You can watch the voltage dropping. If you see it start dropping real fast, check batteries while that's doing that. It's a very, very useful tool when it comes to dealing with a lot of batteries. Keith from Palmetto, Florida, checking in, sunny and 70. Cool. Randy Rizzo and William Rizzo, are y'all kin to each other? Is that Randy and William? Definitely has a controller, does not have resistor, but wonder if it's been swapped over. Well, if it was completely stock, Ricky, then it would be a 91 for sure, if it's got a controller, because a 77 is not going to have a controller. So, but yeah, if it's been swapped, I don't know. It could have been. Jeffrey's asking about, would you do that by the hour or by the job? I would do that by the job, because we're talking way too many hours to charge them that much for a discharge test. Just have a flat rate for the discharge test. And anytime someone is bringing me a cart, or that they brought me a cart and that was going to be part of it, I would always have to remember to tell them on the phone, oh, don't forget your charger. You know, bring me your golf cart charger too. And it would be a flat rate. You know, you come up with whatever you want, whatever you think the flat rate should be for the discharge test. Because it's going to use some electricity, you know, you're going to have to fully charge the cart. Oh, y'all not, Randy, you're not kin to each other, okay. Nate Medlin, hey Tim, did you get the email with picture? I did, Nate, and I've got you on the list for next episode to feature. I'm going to feature Kevin Rabet's cart today. I got some more pictures too, but I did get your email, Nate. I appreciate it, and we will feature you. Hey Tim, 51 in West Virginia, Robert Edwards. What's going on, Robert Edwards? Jonathan, good afternoon. Jonathan Luzak on Facebook. What's going on, Jonathan? Okay, where am I at here? Chris Bonanza installed 3 lithium 12s in my club car. Okay, this cart has the forward and reverse switch with the lower voltage reverse. Will I have any problems making that reverse the full 36? No, you shouldn't have any problems, but you're correct. I understand exactly what you're talking about. If it bothers you, you could put that wire that's coming from your forward and reverse switch on. You could make your you could make your reverse with 3 lithium 12s. You can make your reverse 24 volts. See, the way that Club Car did it before, you know, with your old battery pack, there's a green wire coming off of your forward and reverse switch, a big one of the 6-gauge wires, and it's hooked to the 3rd battery. So in other words, 3, 6, 18. It was actually reverse was only using 18 volts. That's how they obtained that. In your case, you don't have that option. You don't have 18 anymore. You either got 12 or 24 that you could do, or full, which is 36. If the 36 doesn't bother you, I'd leave it there. You know, ever how you got it hooked up now. If the 36 volt reverse doesn't bother you, but you can move that one wire to the 2nd battery, and you could do a 24 reverse. Let me know if you understood what I meant there, Chris, and I'll get back to you on that. But I don't know if I came across. I don't know if that was clear or not. Yeah, that's Big Mike's little brother on Facebook, Jonathan. I watched your replay from Tuesday. All 2-stroke oil pumps run off the crankshaft except golf cart, except GC, except golf cart Jeff. I know this is not the subject today, but what's the biggest tires I can put on a stock club car without lifting the cart? That's from Randy. Well, that's going to be up to you to do experimenting on that. But the tires come, you know, stock are 18, and the next size up is going to be 20. So it wouldn't take very long if you could get a hold to a 20 and put it on there and see if that's going to work or not. I mean, it may or may not, because you could have some suspension lag, you could have some worn out springs, you know, than another cart has, and it would be, you know, too close. In some cars it may work. So, but you could try 20s, but that's going to be about it. You're not going to be able to get anything bigger than 20s without a lift kit. On all golf carts. I got you, Jeffrey. About the oil pump running off the crankshaft, except for golf carts. Chris, Chris says he knows exactly what I meant by the reverse thing. He says, I was just making sure there would be no problem as far as the motor windings being smaller or something like that for reverse. I don't know if there, no, no, there's not going to be any problem at all. In fact, Chris, that in the racing world, that motor that you have in that cart is actually a hot commodity. And it's because it's a 36-volt club car motor. It's like it was a common mod in racing, or it's a common upgrade if you have a 48-volt series wound club car. All right, if you have a 48-volt series wound club car, all you got to do, take that motor out of a 36-volt club car and bolt it into that 48-volt series wound club car, and it's faster and has more power now. It's a very common upgrade. It's the quickest way to do a 48-volt conversion on a 36-volt car, if you think about it. What you did, that's you did, but that's exactly what you just did, but it was just, you did it to another car. You actually made a 48-volt car hit a 36-volt motor, is what you did. But anyway, it's a good mod, and it works too. Mason Grove, what's going on, Mason? Thank you for stopping by, man. I know you don't get to come by as often as you used to, but thank you for stopping by today. Number 4. I have a 2017 Club Car 6 battery 48-volt with ERIC charger. That's normal so far, because anything over 2014 is going to have an ERIC charger. The charger cord is not long enough, so I need to use an extension cord. What type of extension cord should I buy? Gauge, amps. Should I buy the shortest cord possible? Many things. Well, the answer is yes to all of those questions, actually. That ERIC charger, you know, is a more up-to-date charger, and it's not as important. Like on the old, the big, heavy transformer chargers, it was not recommended to use an extension cord on those. The newer solid-state chargers, like that ERIC or the Summit 2, it's not as important to not use an extension cord. You can use an extension cord, but it's still, I would use as big a one as you possibly could get, like maybe an RV extension cord, and have a shorter run as you possibly can. I would still do that, everything that you said in there, but yeah, you can do it. You can run that off an extension cord. Rock Dog says, got to run work call. All right, Rock, thank you for stopping by. Winter and ice fishing are getting close to setting in. I can check in twice a week then. Oh, okay. That's right. You're up there where you go ice fishing in your truck, or you drive your truck out there. I'd love to do that one day. Don't forget to like and subscribe, support the show. Thank you, Stephen. You see, okay, number 5 is where we're at, I believe. What was number 4? Yeah, that was number 4. So number 5. This is from Doug C. I'm new to the electric cart world, so bear with me. I bought a 96 EasyGo 36-volt DCS cart from a friend. I don't know if I'd call that a friend. I installed all new batteries and made sure they were fully charged before our maiden run. About 2 or 3 miles into our drive, the cart just quit with no response at all from the accelerator pedal. I could hear the solenoid clicking, but no response. I towed it back home to the house and checked the voltage, and it was good. I put the charger on it, and the next day we drove it again with the same results. After about 2 or 3 miles, it just dies. So I then drove it around the block about 5 times, and on the 6th time, it quit. I let it sit on the curb and went back about 45 minutes, and it started and ran fine, enough for me to drive it back to my house. It seems to be heat related. Any ideas, any suggestions would be appreciated. Doug C. Yep. Well, the reason I was making a joke about that not being a good friend is because a DCS cart, if you're not ready to do some modifications, you're going to have controller issues. And what you're describing is definitely the controller, the stock controller, going into thermal shutdown, and then heating up, and then and it's easy to do. It's easy to make one do it. It's like you said, drive around the block 5 times real hard, go up a hill or two, just start heating everything, drive around slow. Driving around slow is one of the quickest ways to heat up that controller and make it go into thermal shutdown. So if you replace the controller with an aftermarket like an Alltrax or a Navitas for a DCS card, all those problems will go away. Yep. So that sounds like exactly what's going on with your car. And then it'll be a good cart, you know, after you get that part done. UPS dropped off the oil pump for 2 strokes do run off the crankshaft. So do snowmobiles except Rotax. They have a worm gear in the middle of the crank. That was Jeffrey. Stock DCS controller. Yep, that was number 5. So we're on number 6 now. This is from Terrence M. I have a few questions for you about my 97 EasyGo TXT 36 with a 6-inch lift. So my solenoid keeps getting quite hot and I'm not sure why. The batteries, almost all the electronics and wires were replaced, and all connections were clean and tight. I can only run it for about 10 to 15 minutes and then the solenoid is pretty hot. From what I was told, the solenoid was already replaced and it looks quite new and was replaced with OEM. If I replace this solenoid with a more heavy-duty one, is that going to damage my speed controller or do I need to upgrade that as well? I don't see where you had upgraded anything else. Okay, well, why don't you, this is what I would do. I don't see it. You said you've upgraded the controller yet. So you've got a 6-inch lift on a 97 EasyGo TXT and the solenoid's getting hot. I don't think that's the only thing getting hot. Your controller is probably getting hot too if that's the OEM solenoid and stock controller. So my advice to completely solve your issue would be to replace both. Replace the controller and that solenoid with a heavy-duty one, because when you go with a controller, the aftermarket controller manufacturers recommend a heavy-duty solenoid when you put your controller in your car to begin with. That'd be a much beefier setup for a lifted car. So yeah, that's. Now you got to understand, a stock golf cart, you could lift it as long as and put taller tires on it, and you may, if you live in a cul-de-sac neighborhood with no hills and flat ground, you could probably drive around on it. You may not ever have any issues. But if you're ever going to try to take it off-road, if you're ever going to climb hills, if you're ever going to go slow, like I was telling you, drive it around slow, you're going to need to upgrade the solenoid and the controller, or you're going to end up with problems. Yeah, Ricky, 91 is going to be an EasyGo marathon. The marathon started, marathon, the last marathons were in 1993 or 94, and then that's when they went to TXTs, body style. So 91 would be a marathon, and Stephen Kuhn said that in there too. He said that. Hey Tim, I got a 2014 EasyGo that's been lifted. Will it be worth leaving the 36-volt motor and then I upgrade to 48? Now, see, that's different, Daryl. That's a whole different electrical system there. What I was talking about earlier was that club car mod, because we're talking about 2 series wound carts. See, a series wound motor, you can put a lot of voltage to those, especially those older ones like that. And by the way, Daryl, you have a 2014 that is 36 volts? I don't remember how long they made 36 volt EasyGos before they switched to TXT 48s. I have my personal YouTube channel. If my executive producer is watching, what's the name of my? It's Country Carts, isn't it? It's Country Carts. Kuntry. T-Dog's Country Carts is where I used to be before I went to work for Golf Cart Garage. 3 years ago, by the way. 3 years ago exactly today. There you go. Somebody, Dave must be listening. He posted the drag cart. There's my channel there, William. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Golf Cart Garage. Happy anniversary to me. Thank you. Check Facebook here. Make sure we're okay. Yep, we're good. Number 7, where we're at. From Rob M. Hey Tim, I have brand new batteries in my 48 volt club car. I've also purchased a brand new charger. The amber warning light is telling me my batteries are discharged and need to be charged. The cart moves very slowly. I put it on the charger and the charger unit powers on and off, but it doesn't seem to be taking a charge. Can you help? Year of cart and what charger first? I would need, Rob, I would need the year of the cart and what charger you're using. I want to make sure that all that's matched up because you could have the wrong charger, because what we were talking earlier about that ERIC charger, that's not designed to be used on club cars older than 2014. So I'd have some questions about specific questions about your model and make of your cart and your charger. I need to make sure that both of those are correct before I could even give you any type of advice on that. Let me make sure you didn't tell me. All you said is that it's a 48 volt club car. See, I'd need to know more than that. I'd need to know years and make sure. And I'm going to have some battery questions too. And I would want you to take, well, I'd have to find that out before I could tell you what the next step would be. Let's see, Daryl Duty said, that's what the guy told me, 36 volt TXT, it's got a Navitas in it. Okay, so yeah, it's got a Navitas in it. So yeah, Navitas definitely recommends putting you're the one that asked me about the solenoid? No, you asked me about something else. 14 easy go that's been lifted. Okay, so it's 36 volt. That was what we were talking about. 6 volt TXT, it's got a Navitas controller in it. Well, then the answer to your earlier question, Daryl, is it, well, let me ask you, so this does not have a run tow switch. If it's a 36 volt car, you're telling me that this cart does not have a run tow switch on the controller cover. Is that what you're saying? Or close to the controller, because it's got a Navitas in it, they probably doesn't have a controller cover. So but they still have to have relocated that run tow switch, that little toggle switch, if it had one. Robert Edwards, I have a DS, a 03 year, stock rebuilt controller problem is the region contactor will close, but the main will not close. Okay, you've got a 03 DS. You got a rebuilt controller. The region contactor will close. Okay, on an 03 DS, that's one of those 03 has the 2 solenoids, is what you're talking about, and one of them is for the region with the coil on it. I didn't think they had that in 03. Is why I'm asking. Bruce, hi all from Westfield, Wisconsin. A little late. No problem, Bruce. I better check Facebook. I haven't checked Facebook in a while. Hat. Keith. This is my special edition Golf Cart Garage hat. Number 8 is where we're at. This is from Ronnie. I live in Texas, so we see a lot of really hot days. My garage faces south, so it heats up pretty high. I leave my charger on all the time. Am I creating a problem charging my battery in a hot garage. Listen, people in Texas, sometimes you just don't have a choice. You got to do what you got to do. I mean, lots of people have that same issue. So, no, you're not creating a problem. You should see how hot it gets in a. Think about all the golf courses, you know, in Texas, and they got cart barns. They don't have any air conditioning or any type of cooling in those cart barns, and they get really hot. And every one of those carts is on charge, you know, every day, sometimes twice a day. So no, you're not creating a problem. It's not the best scenario, but who has the best scenario? I mean, who has a place that they park their garage that's climate controlled? You know, park their golf cart that's climate controlled. Not too many people have that option. I mean, that would be the best scenario, of course. Batteries would love that. They would probably last a lot longer. But there's all kinds of golf carts being charged right now in hot weather, or very hot weather. Number 9. For 2024, how about one color hats for swag with scrambled eggs on the brim? Jeffrey said. Well, we might do that, and I'll have to ask and see how our supply is, how low our supply of the hats is getting, and then on the next order of hats, we may do some more variety or something like that. I'll see what I can find out about that. I keep meaning to ask, but I haven't. Number 9 is from Frankie L. Daryl says it does have the run tow switch. So you have a 2014 36 volt EasyGo PDS TXT. And if you were going to change that to 48 volts, I would first leave it on that motor. I'd leave that motor in there and see if it gets hot or anything. That's what I would do first. And then, you know, change it if you have to. This is from Frankie L. Number 9. I just purchased a 2017 Club Car Precedent and was going to install a voltage reducer when I noticed that it had a USB charger on board. Does this mean that I already have some sort of reducer on board? Not necessarily, Frankie. You either have a reducer on board and that USB charger is hooked to it, the 12 volt out on the reducer, or if you've got 4 12 volt batteries in your cart, that USB port, that USB charger may be hooked to just one of your batteries. So it depends on your battery configuration, is what I'm saying. Stephen Kuhn says, I installed a computer fan in my battery compartment connected to the charger port. Comes on when charger is plugged in. Helps keep cooler and vent gases when charging. Good idea, Stephen. I actually had a controller at one time that someone had built for me for the race car. And he used to build controllers. I mean, that's how far deep into this stuff he was. He would build his own controllers. I'm talking about the diode circuit board and everything on the inside. He would build that from scratch. And then he actually installed 2 computer fans on my controller that I was using at that time. And that was neat. And they ran off 12 volts. So I'd run them to one of my batteries and they would keep my controller cool, you know. So, but yeah, what you're doing is cool too, because it vents, that would vent the gassing. I don't know why there's not more of that. I really don't. I mean, the concoction that comes out of a charging lead acid battery is crazy volatile and poisonous and explosive. So why isn't there more why didn't the companies concentrate a little bit more on venting those gases out, you know, is what I'm saying. $2,000 must be 02. No, if that's the serial number, that is a 2000 model. It's not a 2002. That's why I was asking. Now 2000 would have the 2 solenoids and the region solenoid. So that is, if that's the serial number to your club car, Robert, then that is not an 03. That's a 2000 model. Jeffrey says the GEMs have built-in 12-volt fans. That's cool. I think they all should. Anything running lead acid should have built-in 12-volt fans, as far as I'm concerned. All right. Number 10 is the last scheduled question, and then we'll get to see some of the stuff that Kevin Rabbit sent me, told me about. Or not Rabbit, I think it's pronounced Rabbit. All right, number 10 is from Abbott. Hey Tim, I have a EasyGo Medalist. It's been upgraded with a 500 amp All-Trax, all heavier wires, and I think it's a D&D motor. And what I want is to make my rear end positive traction. And I was wondering, is there a way, or is anything like that available to do that? Or if you know a way to do it. Now, that's a good question. I'm going to see how I can put this. Do you really want it to be full-time positive traction? That would be my question. Because if you do, you got to understand, every time you turn in the grass or in the yard, you're going to tear the grass up. You're not going to be able to help it, because that's why differentials work the way that they do. Now, there used to be a kit available that turned it into a true limited slip. You have to understand, right now on a stock golf cart, it's considered an open rear end. It doesn't matter which way you turn, the tire is allowed to go faster on that side or go slower on this side. That's so they don't tear up the ground. All right, but there's one in between open rear end and positive traction called limited slip, which would be where it would put tire. It was a kit that you could install, and I think it was in an EasyGo TXT, but I don't think it's even available anymore. This was years ago. Now, if you can get away with full positive traction, I'll tell you what I've seen people do. I've never had to do it. Believe it or not, I haven't had to do it even at the racetrack, but some of the guys that I used to race with, they would actually get in there and weld the spider gears. They'd take the the cover off of the differential, and it's an old trick that people have been racing for a long time, racing cars. That differential is exactly like a car. It's got spider gears in it. You weld the spider gears, you weld every one of the spider gears, and then it would be full-time positive traction. But keep in mind, that's going to be real inconvenient, and you're going to feel it on asphalt too. That would be like, if you're going to run on asphalt, that would be for somebody that wanted to just run in a straight line, like what we used to do down the track. We just run in a straight line. We ran the 8th mile. But if you're going to do any turning, it's going to be quite uncomfortable, and your tires aren't going to like it. Your axle's not going to like it very much, and neither is the grass. Just warning you. But look up a limited slip rear end kit for EasyGo TXT and see if anything comes up on the internet, because there used to be one available. Higher the charging area, the more off gases you get. William Rizzo, Tim, I need to upgrade the seat on my 2018. What brand do you recommend? Well, when it comes to seats nowadays, I mean, there used to not be a whole lot available out there. But you can spend as much money as you want, almost. I mean, you can literally get some that are like a couch. Like, there's a company called Sweet Seats that makes probably one of the most expensive ones that you could possibly get. But there's other companies out there too. Let me see if they advertise in here. I think the Sweet part is spelled S-U-I-T-E, Seats. They're very popular and very expensive. It just depends. If you don't want something that expensive, go to golfcartgarage.com and look at what we have, what we sell. We sell a lot of seats that are in between. But yeah, there's a lot of different companies out there that would be fine. I don't have one that I would recommend more than the others. Obviously, I'd recommend something that we sell at Golf Cart Garage. So make sure you go there and look and see what we got. Jeffrey says you get the stick welder out, yep, to make it full positive. Yep, exactly. Kevin Rabette says, thanks for showing my cart. By the way, my name is pronounced Rabbit. Oh, okay. By the way it's spelled, I mean, you can understand. Must be unusual name day. And yes, I got teased as a kid. I forgot to mention that the coils are running cooler after the conversion. Can comfortably touch them after a few mile run. Less than 90 degrees on the gun. Did notice, sure if that's normal. I'm still running wide open throttle, which is fine at 13 miles per hour unless I hit a bump. Didn't see. All right, Kevin. I just assumed that was Rabbit and not Rabbit. It was Kevin Rabbit. You got to use a stick welder to do that, Jeffrey says, not a MIG. That was the title of this episode, was Positive Traction. I just wanted to point out the flaws, not the flaws, but the pros and the cons of doing positive traction. But if you're just going to go in a straight line on asphalt, then that'd be the way to go if you need it. Now, if you don't even need to do that unless you're burning a tire off on asphalt, you know. So until you get your power up that high where you're actually smoking a tire, you don't even need positive traction. You can do everything like on my cart that would run a really good 60-foot time. I never did positive traction. I never welded the spider gears on it, and my 60-foot time was pretty quick, and it would spin just a little bit, but I could adjust my weight in the seat. I could slide over and get it over the center of the cart and just on takeoff, and then slide back into position after I got rolling, and I wouldn't spin there as much. So Jeffrey says you might know what happened to IMC Company years ago. I don't know, Jeffrey. What? Let me check Facebook, make sure. Okay, that's Kevin. It's over there. I believe we're fixing to get ready to show it, Kevin. All right. Guess what time it is? We're going to see some carts, and then we'll do the hat stuff and all that other stuff. Let me read this first, and I'll tell you what Jeffrey did. Not Jeffrey, Kevin Rabbit. He sent me an email here, and I'm going to read it before I show his cart. He says, "Hey Tim, I talked with you a couple of times on the show about my 73 Cushman Golfster, 36 volt, 73 Cushman Golfster. Last Tuesday you asked for an example of a resistor cart with a lithium battery swap. I dropped a single bat 36 volt 105 amp over the weekend. Added a 150 amp circuit breaker just to be on the safe side. Initial findings are pretty good." You have to understand what he did here. He put a lithium battery in a resistor cart. This is something that I wanted some feedback on, so I appreciate this. He says, "I went from 5 mile an hour tops with a drop to 1 on the slightest incline with the 6 volts. They were not that old, but the sides were bulging, and I believe they were not worth saving." He says, "Now I'm getting 12 to 13 with the slightest reduction on an incline. It's pretty flat around here, but the driving on the sand gives a bit more rolling resistance. Per the gauge, I went from 100% to 70% after 6 miles, then 100% to 90% after 3 miles. I'm hoping to be able to get 15 miles without dropping to 30%, which I believe is the cutoff mark." Okay. Yeah, every battery manufacturer is going to have a cutoff mark. "Overall, I'm pretty satisfied with the way the lithium tech is working with the old school Cushman design. Might have to save up for further upgrade to in a solid state in the future. A point of interest is that I'm in Port Aransas, Texas, on the Gulf Coast near Corpus Christi. In order to drive a cart on the streets or the beach, you have to get a license plate from the city. They issue over 5,000 licenses a year, with the population is only 3,000. It's a popular place for winter Texans like myself and folks from Dallas and Houston to come to in the summer. Your viewers from elsewhere might enjoy coming here for a golf cart destination vacation." Thank you very much, Kevin, for the nice email that you sent me. And now, bam! Let's see Kevin Rabbit's cart. Where am I at here? Kevin Rabbit, there he is. There it is, bam. Old Cushman Golfstar. Look at Cushman Golfster. Look at the roof. One strut in the back, two in the front. There's his lithium. There's the old school battery tray. Yeah, that is a clash of technologies. That's like putting LED lights on a horse and buggy, I guess, would be a good example. International Golf Cart Company, Jeffrey said. Don't think so, Jeffrey. Ricky Smith, Stephen, I'm showing 15. Oh, you must be talking to someone else. Very cool. Cushman Golfster on lithium. Yep, that's cool. Thank you, Kevin, for sending those to me and that email. I appreciate it. That's something I wanted to know. So I believe, Kevin, when you said something in your description, I wanted to I believe in that electrical system. I know that electrical system is actually before my time, believe it or not. But I believe when you are going wide open throttle, I don't think you're going through the coils. I think you're only going through the coils anywhere in between. So when you're going wide open, they should be running cooler, if I'm not mistaken. You might correct me on that if you find out that that's not correct. Because some resistor carts are like that, but I definitely don't have any experience with Cushman Golfsters. I don't know if it's three-wheel or not. I didn't get that other picture, so I'm not sure. Bill Neese says, jealous of that. Dave says, jealous of that cart. Older than me and probably runs better. Yeah, on lithium, it might. I don't know if it's three-wheel or not. I didn't get a good picture of that. Bill Neese says, how hard is it to put high-speed gears on a UMAX? Well, they're all going to be about the same. The only way I have ever done it is I go all out. I raise the cart off the ground in the rear and remove the axle. I just take the whole axle out. Just take the whole axle. I got a table that my dad built me I made a little cradle for it. And so I can put the whole axle and rear end differential on the table and just go to town, taking off the differential cover and just dig into it. But they're all going to be about the same as far as difficulty goes. Now that's the easiest way to do it. It'd be hard to do on the ground. I mean, you could do it on the ground, but it's just much easier to be able to stand up, and while you're doing it. Have a tax number, you can have 30 to 60% markup. Buggies Unlimited said they bought them out. Oh, okay. Yeah, that must be one of those companies that Buggies Unlimited bought. Coils ran pretty hot before the lithium, and it's a four-wheeler. That's a four-wheeler, Big Mike. That's Kevin Rabbit telling me on Facebook. All right, if you would like to purchase a hat from Golf Cart Garage, you are welcome to. There are links in the description that'll take you right to the hats, and bam, there they are. It'll take you right to them, get whichever one you want. There's different hot links in the description that take you to whichever color you would like. We do give them away here sometimes, and we've got a giveaway coming up. I still haven't checked the schedule for the holiday. I'm not real sure about the holiday schedule yet. So as soon as I figure that out, I will announce when we're going to give one away. Another bag of swag. We will give one away this month before Christmas, though. I'll let you know at least an episode in advance so you can be sure and be here. If you would like to contact us for some reason at Golf Cart Garage, please feel free to do so. you can contact us at this email address and phone number right there. That's support@golfcartgarage.com. And if you'd want to send me some pictures of your golf cart or something golf cart related or something that would be very interesting for me to feature, I'll be glad to. You can send me some pictures at that email address right there. You can also email us with any comments or suggestions that we could do it as a company. We might change the way we do business in the future. You never know. I'd be interested to hear all your ideas, or the whole company would be interested to hear your ideas on things that we could do better or things that we're not doing that we should be doing. We would be glad to hear it. So give us a shout. What is this right here? Yeah, that's the email that Kevin had sent me, and I didn't read it from there. I read it from another thing. So thank you, Kevin, again for sending that to me. I appreciate it. He says the coils ran pretty hot before the lithium, and it's a four-wheeler. Yeah, if your battery pack was getting weak, that could be another reason why the coils ran so hot. And because low voltage can cause heat in a golf cart. I mean, as long as a lot of people would think it'd be the opposite, but it's not. It's low voltage can cause things to heat up. It's not good to ride around in an electric golf cart on low voltage. That makes things get hot. Even in more modern controller systems and solid state golf carts. If your battery pack voltage is real low, it's not good. That controller doesn't like to see voltage like that. Dyson on my E-Z-Go. 102C drive on my Ramen and an Arctic Panther drive on my E-Z-Go. Cool. Contact graphic, social media link. Let me run them and then we'll be out of here. You can follow us on Facebook and YouTube, but you can also follow us on TikTok. There's those social media links I'll run again. If you'll notice in the description, they posted we have a new plan for Gearheads on Demand. I haven't talked about Gearheads on Demand very much lately because we were in the process of doing some changes. Well, Gearheads on Demand now is a fee-based service that we offer. That is where you can set an appointment with me one-on-one, and I'll call you and talk to you one-on-one on the phone. It's actually, every one of them's a video conference thing now. So you can see me, I can see whatever you're looking at, and but it's a fee-based deal now. I've been saying for a long time that it was a free service until they figured out some kind of way, and it took them this long in order to figure out how to do it. So far, it's going pretty good. There's a link there in the description to schedule with me if you're interested in that, and it's also a list of the packages, the different packages that you can schedule for, different price ranges and everything. But you can still come here 2 times a week and talk to me for nothing, just to let you know. At this point, 2 times a week, might be going to 1. I said that last time, but let me check Facebook and make sure I'm not missing anything. Oh, that's good. That's good. Big Mike, thanks Tim, great show, awesome part, Kevin. Thank you for coming every episode there, Big Mike, I appreciate it. All right, we talked about positive traction. We talked about all, but I think we got it all. Today was Thursday the 7th, and this was episode 173, believe it or not. 173. I am off tomorrow, so I will see you guys on pay to see high performance class. How about one class on Tuesday, then Thursday a pay to see high performance class. I could do a whole episode on just my cart, just my race cart. I mean, I could easily take up an hour just on that one cart. And I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of you would do it because it's not really that difficult. I'll tell you what I did with my cart. The cleanest and I could go on forever. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. I started with the wiring diagram for an E-Z-Go Marathon. That's how my race car came, even though it's a TXT. I used the wiring diagram for an E-Z-Go Marathon because An E-Z-GO Marathon has a 0 to 5K potentiometer. I had to change the ITS out of it before I could even do anything really high voltage or with big controller. So I started there. I know that's an interesting fact. It was pretty neat. Okay, guys, I will see you. I'm off tomorrow, so I will see everybody on Tuesday. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for showing up. The garage is now closed.